Do 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 do. Hello and welcome back to Ashley's Vlogs. I'm Ashley, and this is where we talk about love and stuff. If you haven't already, make sure to buy my book, Love and Stuff by Ashley Beard, available on loveandstuff.com for small purchases of $39.95. And I won't tell you how many purchases, but they're small, so you can afford it. It's really great. It has a lot of topics in it. It's actually bestseller. So today, instead of talking about love, we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about one of the things that I love talking about and I actually wrote about in my book, feet. So this would fit definitely in the more stuff category of the love and stuff, but definitely very important. So I think that there's a common misconception out there that the more cushion your sneakers have, the more expensive they are, the better for your feet they are. And this is just not true. This is a lie spread by capitalists and shoe companies. And we actually here are going to discuss what they don't want us talking about, which is that barefoot running and walking can actually be better for you long term than wearing shoes. So, there's been a recent study done by evolutionary biologist Daniel E. Lieberman that actually concluded that cushioned sneakers encouraged people to hit the ground harder than running barefoot did. Um, Here we have this little graph that shows that when running with shoes, you're actually contributing to more joint pain in the knees and hips, and then over time, running barefoot can improve a lot of different things in your body and not lead to the same joint pain and problems that running with shoes does. Um, and I say over time because since we have all been raised in a society where shoes are normal, you actually have to train your body to be able to go barefoot so that you build up the proper keratin in your feet and so that you build up calluses so that your feet don't actually get hurt when you run. But once you've done this, it's actually much better that you do this rather than spending all that money on sneakers. A few things that can improve when running barefoot is you actually strengthen a lot of the muscles in your feet that you aren't used to using, like the smaller muscles in your feet and ankles and also hips. All of these things with time slowly become more strong and better so that you can improve on balance and actually you can improve on the oxygen that your body is getting to your brain, which is crazy that shoes can hinder all of these things, but it's actually very true. I think that people are scared to go barefoot because they're worried about maybe stubbing their toe or hurting themselves, and these are perfectly valid concerns, but I think that over time, if you train your body to do it, it'll build up the proper calluses that you need in order to walk. And there are still people that do this all over the world that have trained themselves to go barefoot, and their running has actually benefited and improved from it, which is just crazy. Not to mention that you can be closer to the ground and more close to nature, and you don't have to spend money on all of these expensive shoes. I think that a lot of times people get scared of not wearing shoes because they are scared of people judging them, but I think that going naked is much more out there than not wearing shoes. People don't really notice when I don't do it because people aren't really looking at your feet that often, and quite frankly, if they are, they're maybe a bit weird. So, without further ado, let's get into the interview subject that we have today. It's actually someone who's very close to me and I've been close with since birth, and they're going to talk more about why going barefoot is actually more beneficial than anything else. So let's bring on one of my favorite people, my foot. So hello, Foot, how are you doing? I'm doing very well, Ashley. Thank you for having me on your show. Yes, thank you so much for coming on my show. We really appreciate having professionals and experts and activists in this field. Oh, well, thank you very much. I don't know if I would call myself a professional, but I am a barefoot activist. Oh, very cool, very cool. So, Foot, let's get started with some questions, shall we? So my first question for you is, when did you start your barefoot journey? Oh, yes, my barefoot journey. I think actually we all start our barefoot journeys when we are born. No one is born with shoes on, therefore, everyone comes out and starts their barefoot journey. I started mine December 13th, 1998, around 8 p.m. Wow, that's so crazy. That's exactly when I was born. Exactly, and that's when we started our barefoot journey together. And soon after, people really started imprisoning me in socks and shoes, and I became soft and unhappy with the world. I'm very sorry that that happened to you, but hopefully we can spread some word about why you shouldn't put shoes on your babies right from the start. Yes, hopefully we can change people's perceptions and mind over time with our activism. Yes, that's very cool. All right, so my second question is, what are some problems you face with the barefoot journey? Yes, I think some problems that I face is obviously since society really values beauty rather than comfort and functionality in shoes, I've been shoved into some not so comfortable ones and some really tight socks and sneakers, and I really hate it, honestly. I've become soft and I don't have the good calluses I used to when I was a kid. Oh, yes, so shoes are your biggest problem then. Yes, shoes are such an injustice to me. I can't breathe, I'm claustrophobic, constantly being shoved in some way or the other, and I can't even see where I'm going. It's just absolutely awful. I am very sorry to hear all these problems. Those definitely sound like they are not easy to deal with. How have you learned to get around the problem of shoes? Well, honestly, I've just learned to appreciate the time that I have barefoot a little bit more and more. With the weather growing warm, I've enjoyed really getting to stick my toes in some grass and some mud. I really like rivers; those are nice. Um, with the exception of the occasional crawdad latching onto a toe, that's been an issue in the past. But without those, I really do enjoy walking around, and I try to just make the most of it when you're not wearing shoes, you know. Oh yes, I do remember that crawdad. That was quite the time. Good thing we still have all five toes. Oh yes, good thing because that was a close call. It was indeed. It was indeed. Anyway, so let's move on with my third question, and this one is a bit more of an easy one. But what is your favorite barefoot hobby? Oh, what a lovely question. I have a lot of favorite hobbies. I think that my favorite one is obviously running. Barefoot. I love the way that the pavement just hits my face. It really makes me feel alive. Um, wow, that's very interesting. I don't think a lot of people share that experience. No, people are very scared of pavement, especially when it gets hot. But as I've said, if you build up the skill and the calluses on your feet and you make them strong, it's actually very fun and rewarding to be able to walk on pavement. And I think this is how people do the walk on coal thing. And that's also a very fun one. Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I haven't done that because that seems a little bit more terrifying and susceptible to burns. But other than running on pavement, what other hobbies do you like? Oh yes, I love doing some art. Some art. You're an artist? I'm indeed. I'm actually quite good at it. Do you? This might be a weird question. I don't know if this is the time, but do you mind showing us some of your skills? Oh yes, yes. 1 second. Let me get a pencil. So, so here it is. Do you mind helping me with the paper? Oh no, not at all. So, let's go to a clean page. So, what I have here, and you can show it on your screen. Yes, what I have here is an abstract piece I like to call love. Wow, love. That's a heated topic. Why does this represent love to you? Because I think that love is love is beautiful and untamed, and that's really what I was channeling through the pen when I was writing it. Um, and I know that this is the vlog Love and Stuff, so I thought maybe I should just give my interpretation of what it means to be a foot that's in love. Are you in love? Oh, I choose not to say, but I do have a soulmate. A soulmate. Wow, but you are just too funny. Oh, thank you. I'm quite the comedian in my spare time. Wow, an artist, an activist, and a comedian. You are truly just the entire package. Oh, stop. I'm not the entire package. All right. Well, I guess if you're done being humble, let's go ahead and ask you my next question, if I can find it. We kind of derailed there with that little drawing thing, but I'm glad we did it because I really love and appreciate art a lot. So, but my last question for you is, why should more people consider going barefoot? Yes, this one I'm gonna get real close because this is very important to me. I think that more people should consider going barefoot because I don't enjoy being in prison. I want to see the world with my own five toes. I want to feel the grass and I want to feel the riverbed, no matter how many crawdads are in it. Um, I think that you're suffocating your feet by putting socks and expensive shoes on them, when really you don't need to be spending any money on shoes at all. Just spend a little more time loving your feet and appreciating them for what they are. And with the quarantine, there's really no excuse for wearing shoes. You don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to buy anything. And I think that this is really just the perfect time that you can be building up your feet for later success. And I think that your brain and your joints, and your knees and your hips and your body and the earth will really just thank you in the end. Wow, that's truly inspiring. Thank you so much for coming on, Foot. We really, really appreciate having you. Oh yes, no problem. Thank you for having me. Um, Lovely. So I guess with that, will say goodbye. Have a lovely day. Thank you. You as well. All right. So we're back, and I guess I just want to talk about how lovely that interview went and bring up some really important points that we talked about today. So, I think that you've heard it first here, folks. The feet, they don't want to be suffocated. They don't want to be inside socks, inside shoes. They want to be free. They want you to build that keratin up. They want you to have those calluses. And I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't be afraid to do it. Obviously, if you have problems and your doctor has like told you that you need to wear specific shoes, that's perfectly fine. But if you're like me and you just love to run around barefoot, then you should not be ashamed. I think that you should really just join the feet rebellion, and you should just let your feet be free and let them truly just experience life and water and earth. And I might sound like a little bit of a hippie here, but I think that in the end, grounding your feet is the most important thing that we can do in life. And I think that it really fosters a connection that you have with just the environment and yourself. So before you go and you spend lots of money on expensive shoes, think about what your feet would want. And I think that that will really help you. Thanks again for watching. I've been Ashley Beard, and this is Love and Stuff. Do 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 do